In Parrish, Florida, homes are selling for the same price that they were selling for in 2021. Home values have come down enough over the last couple years that homes are selling for the same price that they were selling for in 2021. Those are statistics for April out of the MLS, and homes are selling for the lowest price that they have sold, price per square foot in Parrish, Florida since 2021. In this video, we're going to cover everything Parrish, Florida and the real estate market. We're going to go through all of the stats so that you know as a home buyer and a home seller what the environment looks like. And speaking of the environment, we are going to do it from here. This is Rye Preserve in Parrish, Florida. I thought this would be the perfect backdrop for a video like this. So yeah, let's go through. We'll explore what the market did in Parrish last month. According to the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, there is 5.4 months of inventory on the market in Parrish, Florida. That's up from 5.1 months of inventory in Parrish, Florida. What that means is that it would take 5.5 months to sell every single home currently on the market in Parrish if not one additional home was placed on the market and homes sold at the exact same pace that they've been selling at for about the last 6 months. So that is a change for the negative in Parrish, Florida. Also, NAR has Parrish as a balanced market. I don't know exactly how that works. Home values are going down, and NAR is showing that Parrish is in a balanced market, that there's a balance between buyers and sellers. NAR has the median estimated home value in Parrish, Florida at about $461,000. That's down 6.5% year over year in Parrish. You guys, from the top of the market, home values in Parrish are down about 12 or 13%. Just over the last year, we're down 6.5% according to this slide here. Home values were down about 5.8% in the month of February. And let's take a look at this. Bradenton, home values are down about 4.6% year over year. Sarasota, 3.8%. And Lakewood Ranch at about 4.9%. Very much for watching, liking, and subscribing. I am a realtor in the Parrish area, and YouTube videos are my means of communicating with future buyers. This is how I pass information on to them. So every time you watch, like, and subscribe, it's very helpful. Thank you for that. If you have any questions about the housing market in Parrish, Florida, about any of the builders, any of the neighborhoods, please see my contact information down below. I do appreciate it. Thank you. This is the close price to original price ratio for resale homes. In the month of April, homes were selling for 94.2% of the original asking price. Okay, that's down from 95.3% in the month of March and 96% in the month of February. Going all the way back to October's, homes were selling for 90% their original ask price. That's when we saw some pretty steep price depreciations. If a home was listed at $500,000 and it sold for 90% of that, that means that the home was discounted $50,000 before it actually sold. This one here is the closed price to original price ratio for new construction homes. In April, builders were fetching 95.6% of the original ask price. In March, that was 97%. In February, that was 96.2%. Going back to November, builders were getting 92.5% of the original ask price. Now, why is that? Why are they doing better? It's because they're pricing their homes better out of the gates. I've seen builders do price drops across the board on some of their homes, and I'm seeing incentives out the yin-yang on others, and I'm actually seeing both on quite a few. So I think builders are just doing a better job on pricing as they list their homes in the MLS. This one is days to sell for new construction homes. In other words, how many days does it take for a house to go under contract from the time that it's placed on the market for new homes? In the month of April, for new homes, it was 82 days on the market. March, it was 80. February, it was 65. You guys, we've got a trend here. It's taking longer for new homes to go under contract. So the longer that a home sits on the market, the more likely it is that they'll start doing price discounts to get the home sold. So this will be one to watch in the following months. Now we've got the exact same thing, but for resale homes. How many days does it take for a home to go under contract from the time that it's placed on the market for resale homes? So right off the bat, April has got 55 days on market, which is actually really short relative to what we've been seeing. And then March, it was 85 days on market. And going back to April, it was 65. 97 days in October. At 97 days, that's when we saw steep discounts. So right now it's trending in the right direction for resale homeowners. 55 days on market, it's not a long time. Keep in mind, you've got to have your home priced right to get it sold, right? So those are homes that are priced right. And then it's taking them 55 days to get their homes under contract. If you've got a home and it's overpriced, that 55 days is going to be blown out of the water. You've got to get your listing in line with what the market's willing to pay for it. Then we'll hit that 55 days on market. This one here is for new home listings placed in the MLS for the month of April. In other words, how many new listings were placed in the MLS in the month of April, new construction. April, 165 new homes were placed in the MLS. In March, there was 116. January, there was 168. Okay, so I thought we'd see a slowdown. I thought we'd see fewer new homes listed and placed in the MLS because the market's slowing down a little bit more. So this surprised me. There's 165 new homes placed in the MLS this last month. You guys, this will be homes that'll sell months going on out, right? So from here through the summer, these will be the new listings that they placed in there and they expect to sell down the line. This will be, again, information and data to watch. If there's too many homes placed on the market, then that's going to put more downward pressure on pricing, and we may see some more price depreciation over the months to come. Hopefully they get them all sold and hopefully everything evens out, but that's what that data could mean. These are the new listings added to the MLS for the month of April for resale homes. Let's check out these numbers. In April, there were 122 resale homes added to the MLS. In March, there was 108. In February, there was 100. And in January, we had an all-time high of 139 resale homes added to the MLS. So you guys, what we've got, and I explained it in a previous video, was we've got a market that's growing. So the market's pretty new. Almost all the homes in Parrish are just a few years old or a few years new. As those homes age, more and more of them will hit the market. There just weren't that many homes back in the days, years ago, to hit the market. And now we've got a lot more homes. And every year, the city of Parrish is growing almost by a couple thousand homes. So over time, we're going to see this number grow. I don't know if it tells us a whole lot. The tell will be if these homes don't sell. If the buyer pool disappears and these homes don't sell, then accordingly, we're going to see a price reflection in that. This is for total number of active listings. This is for resale and new construction homes. So the charts showed in April, 771 total listings in the MLS. That's down from 790 in March. Resale is actually up to 404 from 376 in March. New is down to 376 from 414 in March. So the total number of active listings is down, but the months of inventory is up. Okay, so that means we're building more homes or we're placing more homes on the market that are actually selling, which is creating more months of inventory. Not a good thing. That's what will create price depreciation. I included this. I'm not sure if I will going forward. These are expired listings. So expires are a huge tell as to how healthy a market is. The more expired listings we have, the more listings that are placed on the market and they don't sell. As they don't sell and they're pulled from the MLS, those are called expired listings. If that number explodes, if we have a huge number of expired listings, that means homes aren't selling, and that's tremendous price pressure on the market. Parrish isn't a big market, so 11 homes expired is not a big number, and that's what we have. April, March, and February, each of those months, there were 11 expired listings, 11 listings pulled from the market. Okay, big market. Sarasota, for the month of April, 137 homes expired from the MLS. Bradenton, 110. So I don't know if I'm going to include this unless we see a big explosion in the future. As we go through this next clip, keep in mind, now is the time that you want to be a buyer. Now's the time that you can jump in and capitalize and get a sweet deal on a home. So I don't want to scare anybody away from buying. Now's the time to be a buyer. Now's the hard time to be a seller. It's the time to be a buyer. Now For the meat and bones of this video, you guys, I always say that it's the sold price per square foot ratio. That is the most important number when we look at these videos. That ratio, as it goes up, that means your values are going up. As that number goes down, home values are going down. That value's down, it's way down. It hasn't been this low since 2021. Proof positive, home values are going down in Parrish, Florida. So let's take a look at it. Sold price per square foot ratio for resale homes in April was $219 per square foot. March it was $235. February it was $222. It has not been at $219 per square foot since September of 2021. This is a number to follow, and we will be over the following months. You guys, just a couple years ago, resale homes were selling for about $260 to $270 per square foot. Sold price per square foot ratio for new homes. New homes aren't doing that good either, not in relative terms over time. Sold price, let's see, April, $193 per square foot for new. March, $193. November, $183. $183 was the lowest price per square foot that new homes sold for since 2021. So we're flirting with those numbers as well. One thing I want to point out before we move along, resale homes typically sell for less price per square foot than new construction homes. What's messing with that data is swimming pools. Swimming pools add about $80,000 to $100,000 in value to a house when they sell. That value is included in price per square foot. That's why we see more price per square foot for resale homes than we do new. One other thing before we move along. So I stated that in November, new construction homes were selling for $183 a square foot, and that's the lowest that it was since 2021. In 2021, homes were selling for $170 a square foot before they skyrocketed and they took off. The norm, so over the last couple years, 2022, 2023, homes were selling at about $227 a square foot. I've said this before in a previous video that it's really hard to compete with new construction homes. So if you're a resale homeowner, you want to sell your home and you've got new construction all over the place, it's very difficult to compete with the builders because the builders they've just got leverage. They've got profits worked in. They could drop the price, they could do incentive increases. It's just really hard to compete with them. So what I've done in previous videos is taken a look at different neighborhoods of resale homes to see how they do relative to new construction homes. And I've come up with a few bellwether neighborhoods. We'll be using them probably for all the future videos. First one we'll take a look at is Harrison Ranch. With the Harrison Ranch neighborhood, I also included some of Willow Bend and Ancient Oaks. So what we have is 37 total homes on the market. 9 of those are under contract. 28 of them are still active for sale. When you divide out 37 homes by 9 that are under contract, you get 4.11 months of inventory. That is if homes sell at the same pace that they're selling at right now. That was for Harrison Ranch. Now let's take a look at North River Ranch. Harrison Ranch had about 4 months of inventory on the market. They're doing really good, actually. So compared to North River Ranch, where you've got 36 total homes on the market, only four are under contract. That's 32 active. So if you take 36 and you divide that out by 4, you've got months and months of inventory. One thing that I have to point out is that 10 of those homes in North River Ranch are townhomes. Not one of the townhomes are under contract, none of them. I think Lennar absorbed all of the townhome buyers because none of the townhomes in North River Ranch are under contracts. If we take out those 10 homes, those 10 townhomes, and we only look at the houses, the single family dwelling inventory, then we've got about 6.5 months of inventory in North River Ranch. Last but not least, we'll take a look at Del Webb Bayview. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods. We've used them in the past, we'll use them in the future. Not looking super pretty for Del Webb. In Del Webb, you have 28 total homes on the market, 4 of which are under contract, 24 are active. If you divide out the 28 by 4, you get about 7 months of inventory. I think Del Webb prices are probably going to go down in the near future.